let's talk about squatting, but squatting while maintaining support from your abs. So what we'll do is we'll begin with, we'll start with your feet about hip width apart. And I want you to connect through your feet. So think about that tripod foot that I've talked about, where we're keeping contact with the ball of your foot, your big toe, the outer part of the ball of your foot, and your outer heel, right? So those 3 points of contact, nice and connected. You should feel a little bit of support from your arch. And we're gonna come into a stacked position with ribs over hips. So if we are not in a stacked position, you might be arching or flaring the ribs. So you can see how our abs are gonna be stretched out, a little bit long, hard to engage for support. We're not in our stacked core canister. Things are kind of out of whack, right? Or you could be in the opposite direction where we're kind of hanging forward and ribs are behind your hips, right? And we're clenching your butt, tucking your butt under, and once again, not lined up in our core canister. Going to be hard to get some ab support here, a lot of pressure on your low back in either position. So what we want to do is we want to try to come up tall in the front and the back. So we're not thinking military posture where we're flaring up, but we want to come up into this ribs over hips position. So you can see it's almost like a little bit of a forward lean where I'm not cinching down, but I'm repositioning. So I have this stacked core canister. So from here, I'd like you to take a hand to the front, a hand to the back, and try to keep this stacked position as you squat. So we're going to send those hips back, right? Come down into your squat, and then come up. And if you notice that your back starts to arch off of your hand, or your belly starts to push into your hand as you squat down, you're losing that core canister. So what we can do is just don't squat as low, right? Squatting down and coming up to the point where you feel like you can maintain that support with your abs, okay? So if you are squatting lower and you're losing that core support, it's not going to be the most efficient position for you to be moving your body in. So another thing that we could do is we could find a chair, right? Keeping this stacked position and try to squat down and tap, right? So we're able to sit back, trusting that the chair is there and keeping that abdominal support as you come up, right? So that stacked position, you kind of naturally get some support through your abs here versus if I come down and I don't think about it and I don't set up beforehand and I just squat, you can see how my low back arches and my abs are just they're not working for me. So if I'm squatting with heavier weights or I'm squatting a lot or squatting lower, I'm going to start to feel it on my low back, which we don't want. So setting up first, stacking, coming up tall, right? And then coming into your squat, right? So we inhale down, exhale up, squeeze those glutes, inhale down, exhale up. Inhale and exhale.